Hey Hawks fans, welcome back to Hawk Talk with Catherwood. We're in week 4 now, after that Monday night game. Still feeling really good at Hawk headquarters, aka City of Seattle. Everybody's still fired up, even though the national news still, talking. New footage came out of the big catch that showed that Golden Tate may have caught that ball with two feet down, but no one's talking about that. People are still talking about the refs. People are still talking about how the Hawks robbed that game. Doesn't matter. We got the W. But what does matter is that all of this chaos has led to the fact that the refs, the NFL actual referees, are back to work. The strike is over. The deal has been completed between the league and the referees. So they will be back ASAP tonight on Thursday Night Football and all throughout the weekend. The refs are here to stay. So no more complaints. It's really just time to move on, folks. As I promised, I stayed up late last night prepping for watching St. Louis footage to preview this upcoming St. Louis game on Sunday. And so here I am to deliver. The Hawks are traveling into St. Louis on Sunday after 2 home games, after 2 great home victories, and what I really feel could be a trap game. And the definition of a trap game is a game that you overlook. You think that this team is below you, so you play poorly, and you go and you lay a stinker. Maybe after a big win, maybe looking forward to the next opponent the next week, but the Hawks can't do that. And if we're going to be a disciplined, focused team, we can't do that. So I want to just preview the St. Louis Rams and some players I think that are worthy of being looked out for. We always got to mention starting running back Steven Jackson for the St. Louis Rams. Consummate pro, built like a Mack truck, super fast, and he stuck with the Rams through good and bad. So I respect him a lot. He's always falling forward for a first down. He used to give the Hawks, when we had a terrible run defense, absolute fits. I remember being just terrified of him. But since our run defense has improved, I don't think we've really seen him break out and flash as much as he used to. Plus, he is getting a bit older. And this week, he's playing with a strained groin. So that is a good news situation for the Seahawks. He is really one of the only true consistent weapons for the Rams on offense. So I'd just wanted to point him out. He's got a great backup running back in case that groin does give him a problem. A fast rookie out of Abilene Christian. His name's Daryl Richardson, so you might see him be playing in the game. Got to talk about Sam Bradford, the number 1 pick quarterback for the St. Louis Rams. It's been a slow process for Bradford. He hasn't really come out and dominated the league like we thought he was going to after he got the Rookie of the Year in his first season. But he's a good quarterback. He's got great intangibles. If he was on the right team, he could be one of the top 5 in the league. But it just hasn't panned out that way. He has found a great weapon and a security blanket in this fast wide receiver named Danny Amendola, who no one knew about. And he's been on the Rams for 3 seasons, but he's really developed quite a rapport with Bradford. Does it mean they're winning games? No. But it does mean that Danny Amendola might be a good pickup for your fantasy football team, but in the real world, we got to look out for him. He's returning kicks. He's the number 1 wide receiver on the Rams, so we can't take him lightly. I would like to see him match up with Richard Sherman and see what happens with that. Should be an interesting matchup, but I have a lot of confidence in our secondary. Just mentioned James Laurinaitis, middle linebacker for the Rams. He seems to always be around the ball, kind of a ball hawk type player, like we like to call him on our Seahawks team. Just wanted to mention him. Also, Chris Long, who is the number 2 overall pick in 2008, a defensive end on the Rams. He's a great player. He's been to the Pro Bowl, and he's the son of a Hall of Famer, Howie Long, who's now an analyst for, I think, Fox. Great player. We got to keep him out of our backfield. Got to protect him. You'll probably see him matched up against Russell Kung, who I went really hard against, our left tackle. I went really hard against in my episode yesterday, and I want to apologize to Russell if you're watching. Russell, you did a great game. You had a great game against Clay Matthews, keeping him out of our backfield on Monday. I just don't want to see those false starts. I really want to see those eradicated. So, my apologies. Finally, two more players. One more player and then someone else. Cortland Finnegan is a cornerback for the St. Louis Rams. He's really good at finding, he's very scrappy, very edgy, kind of a dirty player, gets in players' heads with a lot of trash talk. He had an interception last week for the Rams against the Bears last week, and his name was getting called a lot. So Cortland Finnegan, I want to watch out for him. Russell Wilson, Cortland Finnegan could give you headaches, Russ, so just discipline and patience. And finally, you got to mention the old salty dog, Coach Jeff Fisher, who's a new coach for the Rams after being the longest tenured coach in the league. I think 17 years for the Tennessee Titans. He's always been a coach whose teams are known for being edgy, chippy, and kind of dirty. So this would be a good game for us to get a win this week, but we don't want to get some key injuries. And I don't want to jinx us knocking on my wood desk here, but no injuries. Let's just keep our players healthy and get out of St. Louis. Finally, I have some players to take advantage of for the Rams. I don't know if you're an old enough Seahawk fan to remember Wayne Taco Hunter. He was a backup tackle for he backed up Walter Jones, and we drafted him in 2003 for the Seahawks. He is now playing for the Rams after bouncing around all the league after the Seahawks released him. This guy's old. He kind of stinks. And combine that with a beat-up offensive line for the Rams. I think they're starting a backup center this week too. There's no reason that the Hawks shouldn't be on quarterback Sam Bradford's behind all day come Sunday, because the Bears in their game last week had 6 sacks against the Rams, and I just don't see any reason why we can't match that. I feel like our pass rush is really coming along, and I just want to see Bruce Irvin stacked up against, or Chris Clemens stacked up against Wayne Taco Hunter, and see him get turned into Taco Mix on Sunday. So yeah, I think that we should be getting a lot of sacks in this game. There's also these Rams are kind of weak in their discipline. They're not very good on containing plays. They're very susceptible to screen passes on plays like that. So my question is Russell Wilson looking to improve this week? Is he looking to make that jump? Our third down conversion rate is 30th in the league. That's almost the bottom of the barrel. We're not converting on third down. I'd like to see Russell Wilson try and do some screen plays, some screen passes on third down to really take advantage of this sort of shifty, not very communicative Rams defense. And let's see if we can pick up some first downs. I mean, there's no reason that this can't be a game that Russ Wilson could use as a leap game. So I'm putting him as one of my players to watch on the Hawks. This needs to be the week that Russell Wilson really breaks out. I think the run game is it'll be going all day. The Rams can't really stop the run. So let's open that up and use that as an opportunity to really test some of these cornerbacks on the Rams and let some of our wide receivers play. Doug Baldwin is going to be back in the slot after being injured last week, I think with a clavicle injury. So I want to see Russell Wilson make that jump, and I think that this game could be the one. Another player to watch is Winston Guy, a 6th-round safety for the Hawks out of Kentucky, and he played in the first couple of games, and then we sat him, but he flashed in the preseason. He was great, and the Seahawks play a package on defense called the Bandit package, which is 6 defensive backs. You have a bunch of defensive backs in the secondary, and that's to stop the pass. What I'm wondering is, if we get up in this game, are we going to go to that Bandit package and really try and get after the quarterback? So is Will Winston Guy be active? It wasn't really a suitable, and I guess for the coaches, a suitable decision for the Packers and the Cowboys, but I think this week it might be, and I'm curious to see if Winston Guy will A, be active, and B, play, because I really would like to see him. He's very fast, very edgy. Let's see if we can get him a sack against Bradford. Finally, my last player to watch for the Hawks, Golden Tate. How will he respond? He got thousands of new followers on Twitter this week. He's been called every dirty name in the book. Packers fans, NFL fans, your average Joe off the street are calling this man all sorts of terrible names. He's been on every show in the world, and no one's on his side. Now, you've got a small, tough, edgy wide receiver. Are you going to let it get to you, Golden? Are you going to go back out and play the way we need you to, which is catching touchdowns, making big blocks, not changing your style of play, and you got to put earmuffs on, because man, there's been a lot of instances since this Twitterverse exploded in which a player has made a mistake in a game or been on the wrong side of a controversial play and they just get completely crapped on. And I don't think that's fair, but it's the reality. So how do you move on, Golden? How do we move on as a team? I know that the 12th man has really rallied around him. We all love Golden Tate on Hawk Talk, but I just want to see him go out and have a big game this week. So I'm on your side, Golden. I got your back. I really expect that the Hawks will win this game. This is a game that is pretty well. I'm not as afraid going into this game as the Dallas game, as the Packers game. I think this is our easiest opponent we'll be facing yet, so it'll be nice to have a little bit of a breather. But like I said, you can't underestimate any team. We don't get a real statement game for 2 weeks, which is statement game is sort of that game where the whole league is watching. I think that the league probably expects that the Hawks will beat the Rams because the Rams are pretty bad. So we aren't going to gain a lot of respect if we win this game. It's sort of expected. But in 2 weeks when we face the Patriots, that'll be a game. That's our next statement game. So we can't get sloppy. We got to take care of the Rams. I think we are going to take care of the Rams. I think we should win 28-10. So you can take that to the bank. Thank you so much for all the support for Hawk Talk. Everybody's really excited. All the Hawks fans, keep commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. Show this to your dad or a cousin. Anybody that's really interested in getting to know these Hawks, I'm here for you. Any questions you have, go Hawks. I can't wait for Sunday. Keep cheering, 12th man. This is huge. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.